Are you too old to move to Italy? Absolutely not. Buongiorno, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Arlene Antoinette Gibbs. I am an American woman of a certain age who lives in Rome, and I have this newest channel where I talk about all things Italiano, lifestyle, St. Martin, and Angola. I'm currently doing a series all about moving to Italy, and today's topic is age, because this is something that keeps coming up. And I think it's actually a little sad that it keeps coming up, but I understand why, because of the culture that we grew up in. I feel like things are starting to change in the States, the way we approach aging. For men, it's different. You know, you're an older man, you have gray hair, everybody's like, oh, you're so distinguished. Oh, he's a silver fox. For women, it's like, okay, you need to get that Botox, you need to get a facelift. You know, here you have teenage girls going to Sephora and using like 15 different products on their face as preventive aging. Like, what is going on? So I understand why we internalize some of this, and I get comments like, well, I wanted to move to Italy, but it's too late for me now, or I wanted to move to Italy, but that window of opportunity has closed. And I'm here to tell you that is not true. There may be many reasons why you cannot make the move. Do not let age be one of them. So I was talking to this producer last week, and she mentioned that a studio was looking for a female-driven project for an older actress. And I'm thinking in my mind of, you know, actresses in their late 50s, in their 60s. And when I was speaking with her, she said, no, they mean 40. And this is the reason why my friends and I in LA would always say Los Angeles is no country for old women. Like, are you kidding me? 40? So anyway, I mean, it will be someone who's 40 but looks like they're 20. Like I said, it's outrageous. Meanwhile, here, I think about this woman named Sally, an American who moved to Florence when she was 70 years old. So there is a fantastic program called Dream of Italy. It's on PBS, and you can see some of the older episodes on YouTube. Kathy McCabe is the host and creator of the show, and she did a special about 3 years ago. Or was it 4 years ago? About three and a half years ago, for PBS, so it was a little bit longer. It was about an hour and 15 minutes. And you know how PBS has these drives to raise money? So it was for one of those. And she interviewed people like Sting, the writer of Under a Tuscan Sun, Frances Mays, the director Francis Ford Coppola, the writer David Bach, and then some non-famous people like me. So, like, my friends think it's hilarious. They're like, oh, okay, you're in this special with all these other people? I was like, yes, I am. And Sally was one of the other Americans interviewed. And she had always traveled to Italy with her husband, and they loved Italy and thought maybe once they retired, they would move here. And her husband passed away, and she decided to move to Florence with her dog Zoe. And she did a test run beforehand. Like I said, she had spent a lot of time here before, but I don't think she had actually lived here. And she rented a place, and she came with her dog, and it worked out really well. And she moved back to LA, or she returned to LA, and then she moved to Florence permanently. And I had an opportunity to have an aperitivo with her when I was in Florence. And we were talking, just, you know, two single women who had lived in Los Angeles and now live in Italy, and how our lives had drastically changed for the better. And one thing she pointed out to me was that in LA, you know, you pretty much drive everywhere. And it's such a sprawling city that sometimes you don't speak to anyone because you're in your car the whole time. And I think about, you know, some weekends I would go the entire weekend without speaking to anybody except maybe the checkout person at Gelson's and the person at the gym when I would check in. That's it. Because it's such a pain in the butt to meet with people, because no one wants to drive over the hill. No one wants to go to the west side. No one wants to go to the east side. Of course, if you're married or you have kids, it's different. But when you're work a lot and your job is really intense, it's just, and everybody's so busy. That's the other thing. Everybody's busy. It's hard. And it's hard to be spontaneous. And here it's a lot easier. And it's also part of the culture. Like, it's normal to just quickly meet up with someone for a aperitivo because you happen to be like 2 blocks from them, or you bump into them on the street. You're like, hey, what are you doing? Oh, well, let's get, that happened to me once. I bumped into my friend Jillian and we had like a quick coffee. So things like that happen. But Sally, back to her, she moved here with her dog Zoe, and she had an incredible group of friends. Some were older, majority of them were younger, and she was so busy. She had like this great social life because she was going to aperitivi, she was going out for coffee, going to the movies, going to the theater, and just like her day-to-day was different. Like, she would constantly be out and about because she had to go run errands, like to go get her fruits and vegetables, or go to the butcher, or do this, go to the market. So she didn't feel isolated. She didn't feel alone. And sometimes in the States, like with older people, we just want to shove them into a retirement home and and just lock the door and throw the key out. Like, that's it. Or they're a burden. And here, and again in the Caribbean, like, you're an active part of society. You are part of a community. And that could be one reason why in both these places people tend to live longer. So Sally would also rent a place during the summer in Lake Como, in one of the smaller villages that aren't as well known, not that touristy. And she would go with her dog, and because obviously the temperature is a lot cooler in the north. And she had built this incredible life for herself. She passed away about 2 years ago. And I think about Sally often and how incredible it was that she did not say to herself, okay, I'm 70, it's a wrap for me. I'm just gonna like not pursue this dream of mine because I'm too old. And she said to me at that aperitivo that, she of course was nervous about making such a big move, and she didn't know. I mean, it's not like she had family in Florence or she had close friends in Florence. She was nervous about moving to a foreign country by herself, but she said she didn't want to have regrets in life. She didn't want to look back and say, oh, I should have done this or I should have done that. And so I think about Sally and how wonderful her life was. And she created this life. It didn't just fall into her lap. She was an active participant in her life. And a lot of times I feel we sleepwalk through life, like things happen to us, and she was not going to allow that to happen. I think of this woman named Anna, who is Italian, and she lives in the northern part of the country, in the lake region, and she is 100 years old, and she owns her own cafe, and she is apparently one of the older, if not the oldest, barista in Italy. And I'm going to post the Instagram post, that link, because I think it's just fascinating. Some of the comments, people were saying things like, I don't know why these comments are so positive. It's sad. She's 100 years old. Why is she still working? Well, she's not working for somebody. She owns it, and she's not working because she has to. She wants to. And at age 100, she's literally out here chopping wood. We know people in their 50s who cannot chop wood. And she's active, she's meeting people. I read another article about her, and she said that she loves to sew, and she's a very good seamstress, and in her free time, she makes things for her friends. And again, she's 100 years old, so we don't know if she's outlived her spouse. Maybe she's outlived her children. If she had children in her early 20s, her kids would be in their late 70s. We don't know. But what we do know is this is a person who has purpose. She gets up every day excited about the day, and she's meeting people from all over the world, like all these different tourists that come to this cafe, and also the locals. And, she has community. And I just think that's incredible to be that age and so like with it. Again, we meet people who are younger, much younger than her, and they are like literally falling apart. And so I don't know, I found it inspiring. I didn't think it was sad. And again, it's just a different way of approaching age and aging. And when I hear, or see online like Gen Z people trash millennials and call millennials old, I mean, I kind of get it. Like when you're 18 or 20, someone who's 40 seems old, but it's a I think a problem with that is because in America we don't like interact that much with people of different age or have friends from different age groups. Whereas here it's normal to have friends different ages. So I have friends that are older than me, friends that are younger than me, and we learn from each other. Like I appreciate their perspective, and it's going to be different from mine. They're a different generation, and so this idea of like that's a big insult. Oh, you're old. It's like, well, you know what? It's a gift to get older. It's a gift to see another year. I'm actually at the age where people that I went to high school with that are passing away, so mostly from cancer, or you hear about so and so was in a car accident, or people that I like were mentors to me that are a generation or two ahead of me in Hollywood who are passing away, again, usually cancer. So like, yeah, I think each day, each year, it's a gift. Like, I'm not saying that it's like the best thing to not be able to do things that you were able to do more easily when you were 20 years younger. But I mean, that's just part of life, right? I mean, so this idea of you are too old to move to Italy, I just want to stress again, that is nonsense. It's not true. If you are physically and mentally able to move, make the move. Do not let a number stop you. It is not the same culture here. Nobody is going to be clowning you because you are Xennial or Gen X or Boomer. Nobody really cares. Like if you live in a small village somewhere in Italy, like in the piazza, what do you see? Older people talking, hanging out, doing their thing. Nobody's like, no, it's not like, whereas in the States, it's like, where are the old people? Like I remember I was in Los Angeles in May last year, and because I'm used to Rome and seeing older people out and about, I said to a friend, I said, where are the old people? And same in St. Martin, like all the older people who live in, where my parents used to live, and just, I go to the fish market and there's Miss So-and-so and Mr. So-and-so, and they're out and about, and I'm like, I'm like, where are the old? Where are they? Are they not allowed to leave wherever they are? It's nuts. And also, you have the thing where you're behind somebody in LA, mostly in Beverly Hills. You're behind somebody, and you think they're like a peer, and then they turn around, and you can see that no, this is somebody who's just had a ton of work. And I understand why people feel the pressure. I keep saying people, it's really women. Why women feel the pressure to do this, because it is like apparently a sin to age as a woman. And I think we are changing the narrative slowly but surely, and it's all ridiculous and nonsense. You are not too old. You are not past your prime. You are not hitting a wall. Do not listen to those people who say things like that. Do not listen to people who maybe would never dream of making a move like that, and they're fearful, so they don't really understand where you're coming from, so they're trying to like dissuade you. No, make the move. So I hope that this was encouraging. Like I said, I'm going to link those two sites below. Check them out. I think they're very inspiring, and I thank all the Sallys and the Annas for showing us the way, because seriously, if you don't see it, it's hard to maybe be it or believe in it or think that you could. And no, it is possible. It really is. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, please hit like and subscribe. Ciao.